Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about this clown, Rich Paul, and some comments I seen that he made in relation to LeBron James and the media hating on LeBron James. I was like, quote unquote, hating on LeBron James, the media. And Rich Paul says that the media will have to find a new, quote unquote, boogeyman to hate when LeBron retires. Laughable. I don't know what Rich Paul's talking about. I don't know what media he's talking about, because the mainstream media does not, quote unquote, hate on LeBron James. And this whole boogeyman, what the hell are you talking about, dude? The boogeyman to hate on. Weird comments from a weird dude. And we're going to talk about in this video another weird statement from Rich Paul. I swear these guys are not educated. And I tell you, these guys are a bunch of clowns, man. They're not grown men. They're a bunch of yes men. That's why LeBron James is the way he is. He surrounds himself with clowns. His entourage is a joke, an absolute joke, guys. Remember, the company you keep, guys, is going to say a lot about you. It will. The friends you have, you hang out with, the things that you do, is going to say a lot about yourself, guys. All right? Because I told you guys what? You often gravitate towards people who have similar views and principles as you. I'm not hanging out with people who don't think and view things the way that I do. It doesn't make sense. Why would I do this? And we're going to talk about this video. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, has been supporting my channel. Once again, you guys know I am truly, truly humbled, man, by all support, guys. It really means a lot, man, for real. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, I saw some comments from Rich Paul. Once again, social media, not the media, social media. Because I think that's the difference that Rich Paul doesn't get. These guys don't get this. They love to blame social media on certain things. Oh, Michael Jordan didn't have to play in the social media era. I laugh when people say that, like that was going to hinder Michael Jordan from being great. Does anyone think that Michael Jordan's not going to be great because I'm sitting in my car talking about Michael Jordan? He's going to be offended by something I said in my car? Oh, man, this guy Sports and Fitness Rants is pissing me off. He's talking about me. He's saying that I'm not this, I'm not that. You think that's going to bother Michael Jordan? It ain't going to bother Michael Jordan. He don't give a damn about what anybody says. It don't matter if it's a big-time news outlet or somebody on social media at home talking trash. Michael Jordan don't give a damn about none of this stuff because he's above that. Michael Jordan uses that as fuel. He don't let the hecklers get to him. He don't let the quote-unquote haters bother him. He don't let none of this stuff get to him, Michael Jordan. He never did. We've seen Michael Jordan get heckled. We've seen Michael Jordan get abused by the media. Them blaming Michael Jordan for losing, blaming Michael Jordan for this, blaming Michael Jordan for that, saying that he's never going to win a championship by scoring this way and playing this style of game. Michael Jordan was getting all kinds of blame, all kinds of quote-unquote hate from the mainstream media. The mainstream media, newspaper outlets. Remember Sports Illustrated was trashing Michael Jordan when he went to go play baseball? They trashed him so much that he refused to ever work with Sports Illustrated ever again. Ever again. This man has no association with Sports Illustrated because of the way that they treated him, the reports that they were putting out about Michael Jordan playing baseball. Just once again going after him because he's an easy target. He's Michael Jordan, right? He's the most famous guy in the world. So let's get Michael Jordan. Let's go after Michael Jordan. Let's trash Michael Jordan. So this idea that Michael Jordan was loved by everybody, that he never got any kind of quote-unquote hate, that they didn't write bad articles about him or, putting new stories out about Michael Jordan that were negative, right? Like, they didn't talk about his gambling. Like, they didn't talk about all these things that were going on. Remember, they wrote that book. That guy wrote that book. What was his name? Sam Cooke or whatever the hell his name was. That guy who wrote that book, The Jordan Rules. Talking about these things. Blaming Michael Jordan for this. Blaming Michael Jordan for that. Calling Michael Jordan out for his treatment of his teammates. All of this stuff was reported on. Right? The fights in practice. Right? How Michael Jordan gets on his teammates. Right? The standard he held for these guys. There was a lot of stuff going out there of people talking about Michael Jordan and how he was too harsh and how his leadership might have been too strong and how he might have been pushing his teammates too hard. But the results were there. I tell you guys the same thing. You cannot argue with results. You can't. You can't argue with the results. Michael Jordan was looking for a result. Remember, that's ultimately what Michael Jordan pushing his teammates was about. He was looking for a result. He was looking for an outcome. And what was the outcome he was looking for? What was the result he was looking for? He was looking to become a champion in any way he could. It didn't matter what he had to do, what he had to sacrifice. Michael Jordan was willing to do that. So when they fired Doug Collins and Michael Jordan's not happy about it, he didn't make a big deal to the point where, you know what, I'm not playing for this guy. I'm not going to be coachable. I'm going to sabotage this new coach. Michael Jordan could have easily done that. He could have made Phil Jackson look terrible to the point where they get rid of Phil Jackson, right? And Phil Jackson maybe never gets a job again. Remember this, guys. Michael Jordan could have done those kinds of things. We've seen players do this. Sabotage coaches, sabotage their teammates, right? Sabotage a franchise because they feel a certain way. Ask for trades, ask for all kinds of stuff, right? Complain about this guy, complain about that guy. Refuse to sacrifice, not going to play in the system. We've seen guys do this. That was a Michael Jordan, right? So the fact that he wanted to win and that was his ultimate goal, that was the result he was going after, it allowed him to be flexible. It allowed him to sacrifice certain things for the coaching staff, for his teammates, right? So that he could become a champion, so that they could become champions and they could all feel good and earn it. Everyone was earning it. Everyone earned their spot in the team. You weren't going to play in a Michael Jordan team and not earn your spot in the team. You had to earn it. And Michael Jordan was going to hold your feet to the fire. And that's why all those guys can hold their heads high. They didn't get cheap rings. They had to go through those practices. They had to go through those battles. So they earned their spots. They earned their role on the team. So they can all celebrate and feel that good feeling in the locker room, spraying the champagne around, celebrating. They can all feel that good inside because they all contribute one way or another. One way or another, guys. They contributed to the team winning, right? And Michael Jordan allowed these guys to have those roles. So when I hear Rich Paul talking about the media is going to have to find a new boogeyman to hate when LeBron retires, I'm confused with what he's talking about. Because if he's talking about the media, what media hates on LeBron James? Because that's the problem. The problem is the media is not holding LeBron James to a standard. They're not calling LeBron James out, the media. So who's doing it? Well, we're doing it. People like me, people like AOH, right? People like Uncut Hoops, people like Uncommon Sense, right? People like Too Raw for TV, right? We're the ones calling him out. My man Jordan versus LeBron. Brandon loves sports TV. You know, I see a lot of these guys doing this stuff, doing the work that they're doing. So we're calling this dude out. We're the ones setting the record straight. We're the ones holding the standard. But for some reason, the mainstream media, they won't do the same. So you get weirdos, someone like Dreamers Pro, right? You get someone like him putting stuff out who has a really big platform, a wide reach. He can reach a lot of people. And you see, go look at some of the comments on some of the stuff he does. All you see is a bunch of weird LeBron James fans constantly saying weird things in the comment section. I told you guys, a lot of times I like to go into his comments and destroy these clowns, right? Because all they do is complain and cry. They never say anything. A common theme, a common comment you hear from LeBron James fans over on Dreamers Pro channel is something like, oh, another LeBron James video. Oh, all this guy does is talk about LeBron James. That's what you'll hear from LeBron James fans. So they won't dispute anything that he's saying. They won't deny it. They just cry about him talking about LeBron James. But what mainstream media is hating on LeBron James? What boogeyman is he talking about? The boogeyman seems to be Michael Jordan to me. Because every time I turn around, I see Nick Wright talking about Michael Jordan in a negative light. Why? Michael Jordan played basketball in years, Nick Wright. Why are you talking about Michael Jordan for? Every time I hear Shannon Sharp open his mouth, Michael Jordan. For what? Hating on Michael Jordan. Making up stories about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. That's hate. When you hear them say, oh, well, Michael Jordan never won anything about Scottie Pippen, that's a hate statement, guys. You name me the superstar that won without help. Name him. Name him. Once again, Michael Jordan's the only player in NBA's history that's not allowed to have help. He had to win every one of his championships solo. No all-stars, nothing. He had to win all those championships by himself in one of the toughest eras in NBA's history. Michael Jordan wasn't allowed to have one teammate. He couldn't have one teammate. He had to do it all by himself. But then they keep telling us LeBron James never has enough help. That doesn't add up. So Michael Jordan had all this help. But when you look at the reality, you dig into the details, he didn't have that much help. Not for what he accomplished. I told you guys, in my estimation, Michael Jordan accomplished more than anyone else in NBA's history with less. He did more with less. There's no way you can slice that, guys. No other way you can think about that. He did more with less. Ain't no one three-peating with that first Bulls team. Nobody, guys. No one. Only Michael Jordan could do that because the things that Michael Jordan could do. Michael Jordan, because remember, guys, it wasn't just the on-court game, right? What he did in the games, it was the practices, guys. That's where he made the teammates. That's where he developed these guys. I tell you guys all the time, right? Any great player could make his teammates better on the court. We get that. Anyone that's played basketball understands. If you're playing with somebody that's really, really good, it's going to help you out on the basketball court, guys. It really is. You guys understand this. But at the same time, that's not where Michael Jordan's teammates really, or where the team really came together. The team came together in the practices. That's where the chemistry develops. That's where the cohesion develops. That's where the camaraderie develops, right? That's where everything comes together. You hear these guys talk about how intense practice was. So you want to practice like you play, right? So if your practices are more intense than regular season games often are, then your team's going to be prepared. That's why God said we were prepared for these scenarios because practices were so competitive, they were so intense that oftentimes the scenarios in games were nothing to us. We had already been through this over and over and over again. Michael Jordan kept his teammates prepared. They were there for him when he needed them because of the practices that he held them to, the standard that was there. But he's talking about social media hating on LeBron James. Who's hating on LeBron James? None of those guys are hating on LeBron James. That's the problem that we have. That's why we're on social media, because there's no balance. Everything is celebrate LeBron James and tear his teammates down. Everything is he has no help. He needs this. He's carrying bums. I mean, they literally just tried to call Luka Doncic a sidekick last season. A sidekick. That's insane. Everyone that LeBron James plays with becomes a secondary player. They become a lesser version of themselves. They're remembered for being less than. That's not the media saying this. Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're saying? Oh, it sounds like the media to me. So the media is saying that LeBron James ain't never got help. How is that tearing LeBron James down? How is that hating LeBron James? That sounds like they're lifting LeBron James up. They keep telling us, oh, LeBron James ain't got no help. He ain't got no help. He's doing all this without no help. He's carrying the Lakers to the playoffs. He ain't got no help. Every year, LeBron James got to do X, Y, Z. Oh, another year, LeBron James got to figure it out, and he's got to carry his team. Remember, they were talking last year, does LeBron James have enough left in the tank to carry the Lakers to the playoffs? Meanwhile, Anthony Davis was an MVP candidate. He was top 5 in scoring, top 5 in rebounds, top 5 in block shots. And they're talking about, can LeBron James have to carry the Lakers? Anthony Davis was carrying the Lakers. But this is what the media is saying about LeBron James. But Rich Paul going to say the media's hating on LeBron James. Who? What media? What media? All the big names in the media lift LeBron James up. All the big publications out here, the Bleacher Report, they lift LeBron James up. Number 2 all time? No, he's not. No, he's not. That's hating on LeBron James. Number 2 all time is hating on LeBron James. They think Stephen A. Smith hates on LeBron James. Stephen A. Smith got him ranked number 2 all time. That's hating on LeBron James? So once again, Colin Howard doesn't hate on LeBron James. Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, Richard Jefferson. Does any of these guys hate on LeBron James? Kendrick Perkins. You guys hear hate? All I hear is celebrations. All I hear is excuses made for LeBron James. I don't know what Rich Paul is talking about. He's probably talking about people like me, the social media people, the true basketball fans don't like LeBron James, don't respect LeBron James, guys. This is why he gets booed when he goes out in town. They don't respect him, Rich Paul, just like we don't respect you. Rich Paul, the same guy that said he could shoot like Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, and Ray Allen, that Rich Paul, the same Rich Paul that does not know the difference between antlers and horns on a deer. So I asked Rich Paul, have you learned the difference between antlers and horns yet, my man? I want you guys to think about this. Rich Paul is LeBron James' friend, right? Best friend. He's like the leader, or, you know, the guy who runs, you know, a bunch of his stuff. So he has this position. He's supposed to be an educated person, I'm assuming, right? But I tell you guys all the time, just because you have a degree, you have a fancy certificate, right? You got some letters in front of your name, like PhD or MD or, you know, or Esquire, whatever it is. You got all these initials in front of your name. You got all these certificates. You went to all these schools. You got all these qualifications. That doesn't necessarily mean you're smart. Doesn't necessarily mean that you understand what the hell you're doing. Once again, man, these people have no common sense, it seems to me. And to me, that's the world that I live in. I live in reality. I live in the world of common sense. And these guys don't have common sense, because common sense tells us that deers have antlers. Common sense tells us that Rich Paul can't shoot like them dudes, he said. It's common sense. These guys are not living in reality. They love to pump themselves up. But what media is hating on LeBron James? Who? It's very far and few between that you might hear Nick, who, Rob Parker, Rick Bucher. These guys are hating on LeBron James? No, they're telling the facts about LeBron James. And the truth hurts someone like LeBron James. The more you look into LeBron James' career, the more it exposes him as a fraud. I told you, he's a paper champion. On paper, LeBron James is amazing on paper. One of the greatest paper resumes that you can find. But when you dig into the details, right? You call up the references and you check on this stuff, it gets exposed. Smoke screens and mirrors. Michael Jordan, the complete opposite. The more you dig into the details, the more you're wowed, and the more you find out he's overqualified for the job. LeBron James is not qualified for the job. Only us out here on social media, we're the ones holding the standard. We're the ones keeping it real. We're the ones calling LeBron James out for his nonsense. Rich Paul, if you were really a friend of LeBron James, then you wouldn't be making weird comments like this, talking about the boogeyman, the freaking boogeyman. What are you talking about, dude? You would call LeBron James out. You would hold your friend to a standard. But you guys don't do that because you're not a true friend. You're a yes man that's there to get money. Remember that. It's all about money for these guys. It's all about money. These guys think they're better than us. They think they're smarter than us because they have more money than us. That doesn't make any sense, guys. That makes no sense at all. But Rich Paul is going to be crying and moaning about they're going to have to find someone else to hate on when he retires, which is weird because Michael Jordan's been retired for quite some time. And I feel like he gets even more hate, right? Since he's retiring. So you think LeBron James is not going to be talked about when he retires? Like, I don't get this. Like when the people come to us and say, oh, what are you guys going to talk about when LeBron James retires? What do you mean, what are we going to talk about? Why are you guys still talking about Michael Jordan even though he's retired? You guys still find some things to talk about with Michael Jordan? There's always going to be something to talk about when it comes to LeBron James. Because make no mistakes about it, LeBron James is not going to go away. Just because he starts playing basketball doesn't mean he's going to go away. That's the problem we have with LeBron James. Remember this past season. The Lakers lose in the first round in 5 games. And this man wouldn't go away. He has to continue to do the podcast. He has to continue to make his episodes. We want him to go away. That's the key here. He won't go away. There's always going to be something to talk about. There's always something stupid he says, something stupid he does. Whether he's playing basketball or not, we're always going to be able to have that. So remember, guys, when this guy Rich Paul talks about, oh, Michael Jordan, this, Michael Jordan that, he's been retired. You guys still talking about Michael Jordan. All the media's hating on this guy. The media this, the media that. They got to find someone to talk about when LeBron James retires. No, you guys need to find someone new to talk about other than Michael Jordan. You need to find someone new to talk about and compare LeBron James to other than Michael Jordan. Because LeBron James ain't close to Michael Jordan. He ain't top 10. He's never going to be worthy of that. And those are the facts. You guys can never come with any factual statements. You guys can't provide any evidence for the hate that's going on. What hate? This is a common theme for LeBron James and his fan club. Hate. Oh, you guys are just hating on him. You guys are just hating on him. But can no one ever tell me where I'm hating? You can't point at a single sentence or anything that I've ever said that's lied about LeBron James or anything that I've just created on my own. I've never lied about this man once. I've never created a story. None of this stuff. But every time I turn the TV, you go on social media, they're making up some stuff about Michael Jordan. They're making up some scenario about Scottie Pippen. They're making up some scenario about the 90s era of NBA. Those are complete lies. That's hate. When they say Michael Jordan would be DeMar DeRozan in this era, that's hate, guys. Oh, Michael Jordan, he would be a plumber. He played against plumbers. That's hate, guys. That's not factual. That's not reality. Oh, Michael Jordan didn't do this. He didn't play with nobody. He had Scottie Pippen. Oh, that's right. LeBron James had nobody. I love when they say that like LeBron James would have won with Scottie Pippen. LeBron James, I've done a video on this. LeBron James ain't winning a single championship, guys, with Scottie Pippen as his second best teammate. Because let's be honest, Scottie Pippen would have last 2 seasons with LeBron James. 2 seasons, they trade him up out of there. He'd be gone. Gone. And you guys know that's the facts. So Rich Paul, you sound ridiculous talking about the boogeyman because you guys are chasing the boogeyman. You're chasing Michael Jordan, the boogeyman, the ghost of Chicago. Those are the facts, man. And Rich Paul knows that. Don't no one hate on LeBron James in the media. And there is no hate. The facts do not put LeBron James in a great light. And they don't like us out here in the social media world telling the truth about LeBron James, exposing him through the video footage. Like my man Uncut Hoops did in the 07 finals. Exposed. There's no way to beat around the bush and say, oh, y'all just hate on LeBron James. Was LeBron James good in the finals? He was terrible. Horrendous. Has LeBron James ever owned up? No. They make excuses for it. Oh, he was only 21. He's only 22. An excuse. So Michael Jordan wasn't young when he was losing to the Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks, right? So Michael Jordan, right, once again, held to a higher standard than LeBron James ever will be, guys. And those are the facts, man. You guys know the deal. I'll catch you guys on the next one.